Alright, hey, welcome back to another edition of Four Downs with Danny J and Mr. Wright. Unfortunately, due to scheduling conflicts, Connor and I have been unable to get together for the last couple weeks. A lot has gone on, though. So, with this first down, I want to go ahead and take you guys on a quick little recap of a lot of things. First and foremost, today being Veterans Day. Thank you so much to all the veterans out there. I know I have a lot of family and friends, a lot of people that I look up to that have really blessed us in this great nation of America. And I know both my grandfathers served, both my wife's grandfathers served, and I have a lot of other family and friends. So to all the veterans out there, thank you for your service. All right, now let's talk about some of the major sporting events over the last couple weeks. Start World Series. What an amazing series. Congratulations to the Cubs. It was one of the best baseball series I've ever watched. Probably not my favorite. My favorite would have been the Mariners back in the day over the Yankees, coming back with Edgar Martinez hitting the double out to left center gap, and Junior coming around from first to score, eventually falling to the Indians. So I've always had a bit of malice towards them because of that. But what an amazing series. Cleveland getting up 3-1, the Cubs fighting back. Game 7 is one of the best baseball games I've ever watched. Cubs getting a big lead, losing it, the rain delay, extra innings, just all the drama you could ever want. What an amazing series. So congrats to Chicago on winning and breaking that 108-year curse. And how about Theo Epstein? 2 curses broken. What else is he going to do? All right. BYU football has played 2 games. First one, they played against Boise, and that was a little while ago now. We had a bye week in there. We've also played against Cincy. Just to break down Boise quickly, it's one of the craziest games I've ever witnessed, especially that first half. Just nuts. The fact that the BYU defense outscored the BYU offense 14-13 speaks volumes to a few different things. One, quarterback play. I love Taysom, classy individual. He's a gamer. He plays hard. He gives it his whole heart and soul. But he's just not the same guy he was a couple years ago. So that hurts. Jamal Williams being out. Squally filled in admirably. He had 88 yards rushing, did a good job, but Jamal being hurt, there were a couple times where Squally, went down when Jamal would have broken that tackle, something that we've come to expect and love. Squally needs to get a little bit bigger, a little stronger, especially in the legs, and he'll be just as good. BYU being +5 in the turnover margin and losing. That should never happen. But how about that pick 6 by Fred Warner going down the sideline, tiptoeing the whole way? That was awesome. And last but not least, fake punt on your own 5 on 4th and 19. What? Yeah. No. Not even. We're just going to leave that as a not top 10 play. And then BYU had a bye week, and then they played against Cincinnati. It was a good defensive showing. They held Cincinnati to 3 points, and Cincinnati scored those first 3 on the first drive of the game. I was really impressed with the defensive line, especially the nose tackle position, after losing Travis Tuiloma to the season. Unfortunate ending to his BYU career, having the Liz Frank fracture in his foot, coming back, starting to get real healthy, starting to look really good, and then he tore his ACL, so he's done for the season. So that's really unfortunate. Offensively, it was okay. There was an obvious game plan decision to stick with the run. It was obvious. They wanted time of possession. They wanted to run against a defense that was ranked very poorly against the run. And but if this offense wants to progress, wants to succeed, it needs to do a few things. And the first step is you got to get more consistent and better quarterback play. You can't live off of 130, 140 passing yards a game and expect to beat the really good teams. You can look back at BYU's 4 losses, total of 8 points. And I don't want to say it's all on Taysom, because it's not. This is a team game. There are 22 guys on the field, on offensively, defensively. So it's a team game. A lot of different plays make up what's going on. The biggest question mark to this season, though, is if there was a little bit better quarterback play, how special could it have been? Now, leading up to these next few games, are we going to see Tanner? I know that they've said that they want to get him in, especially this week against SUU. But you gotta wonder. It's got to be a question mark. And then, but at the same time, you can't blame the coaching staff for sticking with Taysom. You can't blame them. That was their number one recruiting job over last year, was to get him to come back. And then once you bring a guy back for another year, a 5th-year senior, how do you bench him? How do you do that? It sends a bad message to him, sends a bad message to the rest of the team. So you can't blame the coaches. And Jamal came back this last week, and he had a good game. Good game. He capped 1,000 yards on the season, so well done. And that's it for our review on the BYU football team for the last couple weeks. Leading up to this weekend, tomorrow, we play against Southern Utah. Ed Lamb's old team. We're grateful for Ed Lamb being here. We're grateful for them coming up to play us. We need to have 12 games on the schedule, so with being an independent, it's kind of hard to schedule teams. I'm excited to see which young guys get in. Hopefully we can get a big league quickly and, do what we need to do. Get some younger guys in there. I just want everyone to go through, be safe, be healthy, and get some experience for these younger guys coming up, the future of the program. NBA has started. My prediction is it's going to be another Golden State and Cleveland rematch. Those two teams are so good. Looking at the first couple weeks of the season, Charlotte, they're 6-1. Are they for real? Are they going to be able to sustain this? Is Kemba Walker marching his way into superstardom? The Clippers look really, really good, and I think they're going to be the biggest threat to the Warriors. I think the Spurs are missing out on opportunities right now to step up, and they're still elite, but I don't think they're quite as elite as they have been. And then the Jazz also, if they can get healthy, get everyone healthy and go on together, I think they're going to make the playoffs this year, and I could see them competing for the 4th or 5th playoff seed. And then last question that I have about this season, how are the Thunder going to be without Kevin Durant? Love Russell Westbrook, but is he going to be able to shoulder the load without KD? That's a question I'm interested to see how well they do, especially because I'm a Thunder fan. I love Steven Adams. I think they're doing some good moves there. The front office is really trying to make headway, and it'll be interesting to see how this season goes. I want to give a big shout out to BYU's women's sports. Okay, first, women's soccer. They played tonight in the first round of the NCAA playoffs. Top 10 team all season. Ashley Hatch got a call up to the women's national team, which was awesome. Played against Switzerland. They won another West Coast Conference regular season title, and they kind of got screwed over in their seeding. They got a 4 seed. I don't understand how they didn't get a higher seed. They were ranked 2nd for a while in the nation. They've been top 10 all season. So they get a home game tonight against UNLV, and hopefully they crush it and, prove the committee wrong. I looking at the brackets, I can totally see them coming out of their bracket and being a Final Four team. And then women's volleyball, right now they're ranked number 12. They're one game behind San Diego in the West Coast Conference. But they look really good. I would expect a good seed out of them for their tournament. And, good things out of the women's programs here at BYU. They've been steadily climbing the last few years, and it's just awesome to see them. 2.5 weeks ago, on a personal level, my wife and I welcomed a new addition to our family. His name's Dax. He was 9 pounds, 1 ounce, 20 inches long, just chill. He's been a really chill baby. And, mommy and baby are doing well. His big sister loves him. And, it's been fun. And then last but not least, something I want to talk about. I don't really want to talk about it, but I feel like I need to. Everyone's giving their 2 cents on the election that took place on Tuesday. Donald Trump won, so congrats to him. First and foremost, congratulations. But I am really getting sick and tired of both sides and their hatred and the rhetoric that's going on. There have been riots in the streets. There have been protests. There are petitions going around saying that they want Hillary to be sworn in and not Trump. And what are all these things going to do? Nothing. The answer is nothing. The only way for this country, this wonderful country, to succeed is to remember that we are Americans first. And that opinion is not fact. Here's the difference. Fact: the Cubs won the World Series. Opinion: it's one of the greatest teams of all time. Two very different things. Now, because you have an opinion, it may be right, it may be wrong, but it's an opinion, it's not fact. And what I have really been tired with, especially on social media, is everyone taking their opinion as fact and preaching it as fact. One thing that's so amazing about this country is that we have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom to voice our opinions. We have the freedom to talk freely. But when you take your opinion as an absolute truth, then that's where things go wrong. It's okay to have a discussion. It's okay to talk. It's okay for people to have a different opinion than you do. Whether you voted Trump, whether you voted Hillary, whether you voted third party. Personally, I voted my conscience. And I'm not going to say which way I voted here. But the name calling, the hatred on both sides needs to stop. Listen and think. A couple last thoughts here on this topic. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's from Bambi. That's a pretty good little moral right there. The golden rule. Let's remember the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. We all have our flaws. We're not perfect. I'm not saying Trump is perfect. He's not. There's only been one perfect person. I love this quote by Brandon Marshall, the wide receiver for the Jets. He says, quote, "The thing I like about this whole situation is you have a flawed man leading our country, and I think that's a good thing, because we try to put certain people in certain positions on a pedestal, and we expect perfection, and that's not the case. There's only one perfect man to ever walk this earth. If it gives hope to those who are flawed, people who get second chances. Hopefully, he does a great job for us. I know personally, I hope he does a great job. I really do. And he's in my prayers. This country is in my prayers. And I really hope and pray for a better and brighter future. And the only way we can get there is if we all listen, learn, and love from one another. And with that being said, this has been another edition of Four Downs with Danny J and Mr. Wright.